Hello everyone, it's Fraser from Motormaster Chester here, and I'm quite pleased to be doing a special video tour today as we're taking a look over our 2018 Mercedes-Benz A-Class that's just arrived here on site. This premium hatchback was awarded Auto Trader's New Car Awards of 2020 for the best car for new drivers, so if this little luxury hatchback can do something right for both new and old drivers, you know it's onto something perfect. The car boasts a 1.3 litre petrol engine with a manual transmission and an exceptionally low mileage of just slightly over 3,000 miles on the clock. And this is of course reflected in the condition of the car, as it's absolutely spotless. It's a bit like buying a near brand new car for a used car price. Beautifully shown off in the 17-inch alloy wheels, which are 10-spokes design, and they are painted in vanadium silver. You'll find overall this car is of a fantastic spec, being of the Sport Executive A180 class. Being a Mercedes, of course, you can expect fantastic handling, performance and refinement all through the vehicle. We can find evidence of this immediately the moment we look inside the car, as you'll notice both the driver and the front passenger have heated seats with the control there on the door. Taking a look around, you'll notice the incredibly comfortable half-leather interior, plenty of space all around, and of course that sharp and classic styled interior. Of course the seats are fully adjustable so you can get into the perfect position. In the back you'll find room for up to 3 passengers, in again the half leather comfort. There's lots of space all around, and you'll find lots of additional pockets for storage. You'll notice by the rear aircon that we can actually pull down and reveal our dual USB ports. This means that passengers in the back can both charge their devices, so no arguing about who can control the one port. Also keep in mind these are USB-C ports, so your phone may or may not be compatible, but you can get plenty of adapters as well to adjust it to fit the cable right. Going to the rear of the vehicle now, we can easily access the boot by just simply pulling up underneath the Mercedes badge. Thanks to the hydraulics, this is a pretty effortless process. You'll find there's plenty of space here. Of course you can fold back those rear seats, so if you want to extend this out even further and remove the parcel shelf, but you'll find there's plenty of room either way here. And of course you can easily close the boot again with the nifty little handlebar. It's time to jump into the driver's seat, where you can really explore the meat of all the specs in store here, as there's quite a lot to go over. Of course, straight away on the driver's door they have that heated seat option. And just below you'll have your central locking and your electronic mirror and window controls, like you'd expect really. Overall there's plenty of space, and like I was saying, you can adjust these seats fully to suit your own driving needs. There's also a handy little footrest as well by the pedals, so on those long road trips you can, relax your foot off the clutch. You'll find your headlight control with automatic headlight functionality, and you'll also notice the parking brakes here, but I'll explain that in a second. Our dash is a fully HD touchscreen display, as you'll notice, but we've got plenty of steering wheel mounted controls as well. On the left hand side you'll find all your Bluetooth volume control, voice control options and telephone control and more. Also the volume wheel is quite tactile and easy to grip, and if you press in it does mute the car, so if you need to focus for a second you can do so quickly. You can easily flick the switches up and down to choose the function you need. On the right hand side of our steering wheel you'll find your cruise control settings as well as more of the menu options, so it's pretty easy to adjust on the road without taking your eyes off. Our car features start-stop capability, and right there's the auto stop-start function as well. So the keys in my pocket, no need to faff around, simply hold the foot down on the clutch and the car will start up with a button. And you can see our dash come to life. Looking at our current dash, it tells me everything I need to know. So we've got our cruise control settings, we've got our lane keep assist, how long we have till we need to refuel. Of course we do refuel every car before handover. And of course your parking brake and lot. Speaking of that parking brake I mentioned before, simply pull in or out to release or put it on with your foot down on the brake. Like I said, the positioning is a bit odd at first, but you get used to it very quickly. Looking over the main touchscreen display, you'll notice this thing is absolutely ginormous. It's very responsive, clean and easy to use. Of course, it's got all the navigation functions like you would expect. At any point, you can just press on the home button on the top right and you can easily go back to the menus. Of course, you've got all that Bluetooth compatibility like I mentioned before after you connect your own phone. We can go onto our radio sources here. Of course, it has AM, FM and DAB radio. We go over to media, you can connect your own devices to play your own music. Of course, this is through physical inputs and through the Bluetooth system. We can go into car info and just find out pretty much anything you need to know, whether it be your consumption of fuel, how efficient you're being, to the engine performance itself. If you're much of a petrol head, then you can certainly get a lot of use out of this. Of course, it's fully compatible with all the Mercedes, Me and all the other apps that come with it. And you can go through the browser and download more. Just about every single setting on the whole system can be configured, so I recommend when you get the car and you take it home, feel free to customize it and get it perfect just for you. You can turn on just about everything and turn it off if you don't like it. So a unique feature you'll find here is the theming system. Currently the car is in its standard theme, but say you want to go on a trip, you can set it to the preset where it sets everything up to be perfectly designed so you can see your distance quite easily. Alternatively, maybe you're going for a bit more of a sporty power infused trip. Well, you go into the performance mode and as you can see, everything's focused on how the engine's outputting. So like I was saying, if you've really put this thing to its limit, feeling a bit like a racer, you definitely can switch to that setting. Perhaps on the other hand, you want to save some fuel, make the most of your money. Well, you just go into the efficiency mode and it'll set the drive settings to be efficient, and of course, it will change your display so you can constantly monitor your fuel usage. And of course, I had it on before as the standard, but you can also change your own theme, so you can even create unique ones, so you can combine a few features from the themes you like the most. Overall, it's a pretty nifty little system, and it's pretty fun to play around with. Just down below, of course, you find all of your aircon control settings. This does feature dual climate control, so both the driver and the front passenger can change their temperatures independently from one another without affecting each other. No more arguments about whether the car's too hot or too cold. Of course, all the changes you make will be displayed on the huge touchscreen display. I will mention that I filmed this on quite a chilly day, and thankfully the car got nice and toasty within no time, so I can say it works nicely. Of course, you've got all your windscreen clearing options, and you can sync the two temperatures to be the same as one another, should you not really need that dual zone function. And of course, you can even set it to automatically change itself. You can change all the fan options as well. It's a pretty robust system, so you can configure it just how you like. Further down below, of course, you can find your ports to connect your own devices. This is with the USB-C port on the left and the 12-volt port there on the right. The car does come free with this adapter, so you can change from the USB-C that you see here to the standard USB port on the other side you might be a bit more familiar with. So perhaps your charging cable just goes into USB regular, or simple, pop that in, and then pop the charging cable into the other end. Of course, it all depends on what kind of phone or device you're trying to connect, but it gives you a few extra options there, and these cables are pretty cheap and easy to get online. Even the cup holders have a few nice features in them. As you can push down here, it will change and adapt to the size of the cup. So you have a larger or smaller cup, you can still get a snug fit there. Handy when you're on that road trip and you go and you pop in and get a custom cup of coffee, but it doesn't quite fit in right. Moving on over to our gear stick now, and of course you'll see it is 6-speed for that extra power and efficiency, especially when you get onto top speed on the motorway. We can pop it into reverse by lifting it up as a safety and pulling it back there. Of course, when doing so, we activate the parking sensors and the rear parking camera. I can tell you now the system works perfectly. As you turn the wheel, it will also show you where you'll end up on both the sensors and on the camera, which is a nice touch to help manoeuvring. You can change the view you have here, so you can go for a wide angle view. And there's even the automatic parking assist system. So essentially, if there's parking lines around you, you can press the button and it will line up and park the car for you. It's a pretty freaky experience, but it's certainly a unique one. And if you're trying to get through a crowded area, it works wonders. Of course, there's no parking lines for me to demonstrate it with here though, sadly. Also, if you pop the car into forward, it will for a while show off the parking sensors, so if you're trying to manoeuvre forwards, it will also help you out there as well, with the predicted pathing as well. Of course, if you're not a fan of the beeping, you can change off those sensors at any point with a simple button press. Just down below from our gear stick, you'll find additional controls for the main media panel, so it's not just all touchscreen, you can use this if you prefer. Of course, we have our home button to easily access the main menu at any point, and you'll actually find it functions here a bit like a trackpad, similar to the ones you get on your laptop. So we can scroll through and select the options we need. You can also select all the hotkeys down there at any point. You'll notice the parking sensors came on briefly as someone passed by the car, as they are always on, but of course you can turn them off. So like I was saying, we have our main hotkeys on the side here, which you can easily flick between, and you also have your volume control and your tuning control here as well. So for example, I could easily switch onto navigation from any menu, or perhaps you want to check out the cameras behind you in traffic, maybe someone's a bit close, and of course you can turn on the automatic parking. You can also switch easily to your favourites, so you select the apps you use the most, and you can get to them with a button press. Like I was saying, you can see me here navigating using the trackpad if perhaps you don't want to use the touchscreen. Also, underneath your armrest, you'll find it opens into two, and there's plenty of storage space down here, as well as an additional USB-C port, so you can connect your devices and charge them safely, storing them away. Of course, there's a bunch of additional specs I haven't even gone over yet. For example, the attention assist system will help you to avoid veering off the road on those long, tiring journeys. You'll also find it has automatic windscreen wipers to go along with those automatic headlights from before. You'll also find it has full LED lights around the car for the headlights as well. Even a few additional little extras like these sunglasses holders. So overall, if you're looking for a smart high-tech hatchback with a nice touch of luxury, this is one I would definitely recommend. I can't remember the last time I got to do a video tour on something quite so well equipped, to be honest. So if you want more information on this vehicle, you can go on down to the YouTube video description. From there, you'll find a link to the listing on our website. You can also find us directly at www.motormatch.com. Anyway, we hope you're all staying safe and have a great day. Cheers.